Northwest Liberty News, picking the lock on the shackles of tyranny.
Machines are gonna fail, and the system's gonna fail.
The past is past, the future's now.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Sometimes trouble just follows a man.
There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern. Do you know what it is? A virus.
Can't you stop your lips from flapping for 2 little minutes?
It's because I'm white.
I'm a man. I'm sensitive. I need to feel loved. I need to be desired.
I'm rapidly becoming a big underground success in this town.
It's a question of methods. Everybody wants results, but nobody wants to do what they have to do to get them done.
And now, coming to you live from Kalispell, Montana, brought to you by Northwest Liberty News, it's Montana Gazette Radio with your host, James White. Okay, I'm your host, James White. This is Montana Gazette Radio. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the broadcast on this 11th day of January 2021 with the forces of darkness and tyranny closing in on us from all direction. If you're not familiar, if you're not aware, the Parler website that was the alternative to Twitter and Gab, and there's others, but it was shut down last night. It's not up now. If you go there now, you can't get to it. I know they're scrambling to put together another hosting company to keep their site going. But you can see what's going on here with the establishment as they're trying to. It's pretty apparent now. They're trying to prohibit us from getting information back and forth to each other. So, in that note, take down if you can the other. There's alternative sites that this is broadcast on. This show is broadcast on. You can go to to Podbean and look up Northwest Liberty News. You can go to Critical Disclosure YouTube channel if they shut down this main YouTube channel. Critical Disclosure is another YouTube channel. Also on Facebook, same thing. I don't know how much how much clamping down they're going to do. To me specifically, they have kicked me off of my main Twitter account. They banned me from there. So that was of course probably expected, as they did many people. So far here on this channel, I'm able to continue to keep broadcasting the Critical Disclosure, which we're going to start doing pretty regularly now. I think Dave and Kelly we may actually do a show later. That's the 2-hour show. That'll be on Blog Talk and all these other channels as well. So, you understand in the big picture. If you look at it, what they're doing is they're working to keep us from communicating with each other. Why do you think they're ramping up the lockdowns? Because they don't want people getting together and talking about things. Right? They want to monopolize the information. This is trauma-based mind control. We talked about this before. This is trauma-based mind control. All this that we're going through right now, that they're pulling on us, and what they want to do is they want to monopolize the information. They want to control the narrative. They want to cut down all channels that have any conservative voices. They want to prevent them from reaching the folks. And then they want to lock everybody individually down in their own homes and prohibit them from traveling and getting together with other families and talking about the criminal establishment that is in the middle of an attempted takeover of this country, as we can see right now. There's been some reports, so many reports, folks, and I tell you one thing, it is and this is part of their plan. This is part of their playbook. This is what they do. We're in a position now, of course, where you don't hardly know what to believe about anything. They have adulterated the truth to the point where, even some trusted, sites that you would trust seem to be, working for the dark side, if you will, or compromised or taking a payoff. And that is one of the most difficult things, and I've stated this for a long time now. one of the most difficult things to do is to discern what the truth is. Now, there's been widespread reports, and I posted it on my Facebook page where on Northwest Liberty News there. I try to get a lot of information out there if I can. And, people say, oh, that's the enemy platform. Sure, it is. But we're still able to use that right now to get out. A lot of people are on Facebook. Whether you like them or not, there's like billions of people. I don't know how many, 2 billion, maybe 3 billion worldwide on Facebook. I don't know how many in the U.S. I mean, I don't pretend to know. But lots of people still. Maybe not the young crowd as much or at all. I think my daughters kind of laugh at me when I talk about if they have a Facebook account. I think they have actually laughed when I said that. So no, I don't believe that the that young the young adult population really are on it. But people my age and probably 40 and up, a lot of people use Facebook, and it's a good way to get the information out. Now, are they what they do is wrong? Absolutely. I mean, they cut channels down, they turn channels off. It's reprehensible. They shouldn't do that. But we're in a war right now, and it's like charging. It's like thinking about the old films where they get together and they charge the front, right? They charge the front for the battle, and some of them go down. Some of them get hit with mortar fire, get shot with small arms, and they drop. But some people just keep charging forward, right? They just keep charging forward. Well, that's where we're at right now, right? We're charging forward, and some of the other conservative commentators and YouTube channels, they've gotten taken out, right? Some of the platforms have got taken out. Thankfully, for me, still, I'm trying to charge forward. How long am I going to be able to do that? Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't even know why I don't. They. I guess they just want. They haven't noticed me, or they don't care. Who knows? Who knows? Not big enough of a channel. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm continuing to move forward, and I appreciate you joining me here. So we're hearing that the Insurrection Act was signed a couple of nights ago, I believe. Maybe not last night, but the night before. We're trying to get confirmation on that. Yeah, I'm on D-Live. Yeah, I'm already on D-Live, Greg. Under Montana Daily Gazette, I believe. So, I heard we heard the Insurrection Act was signed. We've heard that, I've heard a report now that Nancy Pelosi was arrested. I've heard a report that Lindsey Graham was arrested. Haven't been able to confirm any of that stuff. Not saying that's true. Yeah, Gab, I went over to Gab. Gab has been kind of really pretty slow. I'm trying to read the chat room here, and I appreciate you guys chatting here. So I really have, I was going to hit a couple of websites here. This is just really, this broadcast really is just to kind of keep in touch, because I think everybody is, I just got off the phone with Ammon Bundy. That's how I was kind of running late. I was on the phone with Ammon for 30 minutes talking about all this stuff. And, and we have we came to the conclusion during the conversation that, it's hard really to figure out what to believe these days, and that's why, I know the people that I talked to. I did a show on Saturday. I know the people that I talked to were real people, real individuals that I know. So I'm pretty confident with that, up to a point. But yeah, it's much better than catching, stuff on the internet. Certainly mainstream media. Don't even watch mainstream media, folks. There's no telling what information they'll put out, as far as, with the deep fakes that they have now and the technology. Here's a couple of situations, and I just want to bring this up, and you can let me know what you think in the chat room. But I don't know if anybody's raised your hand if you saw the holograph with the Pope, where he's out, I think, on a balcony or something. He turns around, walks back, and disappears. You can see this, it was like a hologram. Okay, I watched it multiple times. I want to think there was more than one camera angle. Well, it wasn't just one. I want to say there was a couple, because of course the Pope comes out. How many people's got their cell phones on recording these days? Probably most people. That was certainly suspicious that hologram with the Pope. Don't know what that means. Don't know why, how advanced that technology is. They don't call me and tell me, they don't consult with me. So that particular one right there. And the second one was, I saw where Joe Biden was standing at the podium, and the headshot camera, like the one you see here with me now, had him talking, but the side camera, they forgot to turn that side camera off that was shot at the podium, and there was no Joe Biden at that podium at the same time that he was standing in front of the podium. So do they have the technology to? Now, I saw something that they did a test. I want to say it was on NBC, and this was years ago, 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. They did a hologram test where they had a virtual presenter standing on the stage, and they were hologramming it. You could kind of tell it was a hologram, but man, this is like 7 or 8 years ago, I think. It looked pretty good. My point being is, on that, to say all that, in the mainstream news, they could be using things like that. Fake images. You've seen the deep fakes where somebody on one side of the room can be talking and it looks exactly like a celebrity or whoever you put in there, and it looks like them talking. So just my advice would be, don't watch the mainstream news. Don't watch it at all. You can't trust it. They're in on it. Okay? The mainstream news is in on it. And that's what we have to be. That's what we have to be mindful of. We can't believe or trust anything that they say. Sites like Montana Daily Gazette, Montana Gazette Radio, you can see it scrolling across the bottom, right? Are we going to get it 100% right all the time? No. I mean, it's really difficult too, especially difficult to do so, especially as I just stated, with all the fake news going around. But you can believe that any mistakes that we make are certainly going to be, honest ones. It's going to be because, it was not something that we purposely put out there. And, I can't really vouch for many, many news organizations. I think that some are still pretty good. I like to think Natural News over there, where we have that brought up. Mike Adams pretty much, I think, does his best to put out truth as much as he can. But it's tough these days. It's tough these days to find out what the real truth is. So, I would suspect that once, Donald Trump finds a way to get back out, once Donald Trump finds a way to get back out onto the, to be able to get his message back out again, that would be a much more of a confirmation to me if I would hear it from him or General Flynn. So, folks, this is the battle for everything, and this is what I've talked about for a period of time. Johnny, the FBI just visited me. Wow, interesting. We have to talk about that. We'll have to talk about that. This is the battle for everything, folks. And as I stated a couple of weeks ago or a month or so ago, the war is on right now. And what they're doing is they are cutting off the lines of communication for conservatives, for patriots, and they are trying to monopolize the news. They're trying to monopolize the narrative, which they are, they're doing a fairly good job of it now. However, I see that the patriots are going to rally, and I think they're going to overcome. I really do. I think that the people are the ones that need to rise up en masse. You need to take the masks off your face, and you need to stand up for your family and for this country. That's what's going to do it. We have to get away from the mentality, the Hollywood mentality, the fairy tale ending, the propaganda that's been pumped into our brains our entire lives, that somebody else is responsible for coming in and saving us and fixing everything. Right? It's up to us. It's always been up to us. We are the government. This is our country. It's not theirs. It's ours. The only reason it's theirs is because good people have fallen asleep at the wheel, and they've so masterfully given us the shiny object and the distraction, whatever it may be, right? Hollywood, sports, you name it. I mean, whatever they've done it well, because we've got to the point where criminals took over everything. Criminals took over everything, right? It'd be like someone just taking over your household and living with you, and because they dress in $3,000 suits and have expensive vehicles, you just let them run your life. I mean, these people are criminals. It's a criminal class. It's a criminal class. And we've allowed them to take over. Well, the bad news for them is that the con has been exposed. The con has been exposed. And once the con gets exposed, the con can't continue. There's no chance, no way, no how. 75 million people, and probably more. There's probably more. If there were 75 million people, and they're saying now 80 million people that voted for Trump, there's probably another 10 that probably didn't vote or more. So you think that close to 100 million people are going to just say, yeah, that's okay. We're going to allow ourselves to be taken over by communist tyrants? This isn't going to happen. It's not going to happen. It could have happened years ago. Could have happened even 2 or 3 years ago. Now the criminality, right? Now the con has been exposed worldwide, and certainly all throughout this country. And there's even people on the left that are going to come over to the other side when all of the information that about the voting fraud and other stuff that we don't even need to talk about when it comes to the abuse of children. And again, folks, I'm been here 50 years. 51 actually. And I guess I'm getting a text there. And would you ever think you'd see, okay, understand, in all your life, this stuff's all been going on, right? This whole thing with the child trafficking and Epstein, and they've been doing this for years, right? Years. This has been Franklin cover-up. I mean, this goes back decades. Decades they've been involved in this stuff. Decades, literally, or more. And now, in the last 4 years, something that's been going on for decades and been largely hidden, although there have been people that have come out and reported on it and have brought it up, but it's largely been hidden. In the last 4 years, you find out about Weinstein, Epstein, Weiner's laptop, Hillary's laptop, Epstein Island, Ghislaine Maxwell, the Nexium Hollywood sex cult. All this stuff happens to just come up in the last 4 years after it's been hidden for decades. Now, not all of these things I mentioned are decades old, but certainly what they've been doing to children are decades old. I mean, millennia old. But I'm talking about in this country, in this current criminal class, been going on for generations and generations. And now all of a sudden in the last 4 years, it all comes out right before they decide to take over. How foolish are these people? Are they idiots running things? Right? Are they idiots? So what do? They talk about a pandemic and everybody rushes out and stocks up on food right before they decide to come and take us over. They come out and they say, we're going to defund the police and take away the police, and everybody goes out and buys a bunch of firearms and ammunition right before they decide to come and take us over. These are the dumbest criminals on the planet, if that's what their plan is. It's a pretty foolish way to take people over, is to get them all prepared and ready. I'm not a military guy, so I mean that's just my simple mind thinking that they wouldn't allow all this information, and somehow they think it's to their advantage to go from 10 million people that are awake to 80 or 90 million people that are awake. And that's like a strategic move on their part before they come and try to take us over. I don't know. I'm just trying to be a logical thinker here. I'm just trying to think in a logical way where, you know, what we're seeing, right, is not what's really going on. I mean, it's almost a Matrix type thing. Let me take a quick break here for my sponsors. We do appreciate you looking in here on Montana Gazette Radio. I'm a little bit animated because it's what an exciting time to be alive. I mean, it really is. It really is an exciting time to be alive. Some people go their whole entire lives and never even come close to experiencing something like we're experiencing here. I mean, this is epic. This is epic times that we're going through. Am I saying it's enjoyable? No, man, I hate it. No, I mean, I hate the fact that I see tyrants continually, in power still. I mean, that's the thing I hate about it, is I know these people are crooks. I know that they are. I know they are. We all know they are. And we just want them to be brought to justice. I hate that part. But the fact that we're living through this time in history, people, like I said before, generations from now, and generations are going to look back and say, tell us about that again. Tell us about that again. Tell us about that Great Awakening. Tell us what happened in 220 and all that stuff. Right? I really believe that. So I'm going to take a quick break here, and I'll be back just in a moment on the other side. This is Montana Gazette Radio, montanaGazetteRadio.com or MontanaDailyGazette.com. If you want to check out some true news, you can check that out. Or, of course, the flagship Northwest Liberty News. I'm your host, James Wyatt. We'll be back after these brief messages. Let's see. There we go. If you like classic cars, exceptional service, and a money-back guarantee, then the Corner Shop in beautiful downtown Kalispell is the place for you. Whether it's an oil change, engine diagnostic, suspension work, or brakes all around, the Corner Shop has you covered. With expert technicians and a free consultation on all services, you can't go wrong with the Corner Shop. Did I mention the classic cars? While you're waiting for your expert service to be performed, take a stroll through the showroom to see Kalispell's smoothest collection of classic cars. The Corner Shop is conveniently located at 1212 South Main, just south of the courthouse. The Corner Shop is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m., so drop by for an appointment or call 755-7777. That's 755-7777. The Corner Shop, Kalispell's full-service auto repair facility. Hi, this video is brought to you by PatriotPrepared.com, where right now you can save $250 on each large package purchase, plus get free shipping to the continental United States. In these troubled times, it's not a bad idea to have some extra food storage available, and you can save big at Patriot Prepared right now. Go to PatriotPrepared.com, that's PatriotPrepared.com, and use the code TRUMP250 at checkout to receive your savings today. Okay, folks, thanks for joining me back here on the broadcast. I'm your host, James White. We're live here from Kalispell, Montana, on this 11th day of January 2021. As we quickly approach the precipice, I don't know. It's coming up fast. Some things are going to have to happen here soon. How things are going to totally shake out and how they're going to look. I'm hopeful. How I'd like to think they're going to turn out, but as I stated before, we're all part whether you like to believe it or not, we're all part of this reality show right now, it seems. You know, and I'm still sticking with we were conditioned for years and years with, you know, Survivor and Big Brother and all these other different reality shows, and now we are actually in our own reality show. Again, thanks so much for joining us here, MontanaDailyGazette.com, MontanaDailyGazette.com, and I know we're working on getting the broadcast piped right into the website there on the front page. But, you know, right now with, you know, the fate of the Republic in the balance, that hasn't really been a top priority. And I'm, you know, understandably, you know, this is, you know, these, you know, the tyrants, the would-be tyrants, the establishment that wishes to continue to rule us, they're going to be pulling out all the stops. You can see what they're doing now. And not only, if I'm remembering correctly, did Amazon pull Parler off of their servers, but the other partners with Parler also banned them simultaneously, pretty much. Now, what I read, I still have a Twitter account. My main Twitter account has been taken down, as I stated. I have a backup Twitter account that hasn't have nearly as many. I don't have as much information on it because I didn't use it a lot. I did have it, you know, I have some people I followed and stuff like that, but a lot of those people are gone already. But I saw on the Twitter account where this morning, apparently they're going to introduce a bill to designate MAGA rallies as domestic terrorism. You heard that right. And again, I don't remember what it was from, and if anybody can do a quick search on that are listening, that'd be delightful. If you can throw it in the chat room and YouTube, that'd be great. But I'm understanding they are trying to turn the MAGA rallies into, or I guess pass a law or propose one anyway, that the MAGA rallies are going to be considered domestic terrorism events. I mean, just think of that, folks, right? What don't they want? Again, they don't want conservatives coming together. Do you understand? Can you see what their game plan is to continue to keep us separated? Divide and conquer. Talked about this on the program before on several occasions. It's the divide and conquer mentality. And it's a war maneuver. It's a tactic. See, they want to keep you divided. They want to keep us divided. They want to keep our speech divided. They want to keep us from coming together. That hence the shutdown of the social media, the shadow banning, the lockdowns, and now we have what I'm understanding is the designation of MAGA rallies as being domestic terrorism events. Why do they not want us to come together and speak about these things? Right? I mean, don't we have a right? Don't we have a First Amendment right to come together and speak about things? Yeah, they also appear to want all of our guns. Yeah, sure they do. Of course they do. That ship has sailed for them, though. Of course, for them, that ship has sailed. People aren't going to put up with those shenanigans. I mean, the whole we're going to defund the police and remove police and send social workers in for these police matters. People are like, yeah, no, we ain't playing that. No, let's go get some guns. Let's go get some guns and some ammo. And, that's what they did. I haven't looked back at the FBI, not the fact check, but the AccuCheck or whatever when you sign up for the gun. It's been so long since I've actually had to fill one of those out. Forget what it's called. Anyway, the background check. I haven't seen the numbers or how many people have purchased firearms, but I would bet it is on the rise, to say the least. Now, what I'm hearing is from two people that do gun manufacturing here in Montana, that the parts are difficult to come by. It's not a problem with the demand of the people wanting guns; it's the parts. So, and it's just a matter of the overwhelming orders that they have. They just can't keep up. So we are, we have, probably well over, probably a couple 100 million firearms, I would think, in this country. And we have a lot of former military who are going to stand up and they're going to honor their oath to defend this republic against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And we, again, don't know the future. I don't know what they're going to try, but I can tell you it's not going to be easy for them if they think they're just going to swoop in and take over the whole entire country. I mean, the logistics behind it are just, they would much rather have us submit. That's why we have to take the masks off, because that's an act of submission. That's the only way that they can defeat us, folks. Do you understand this? You understand this? That's the only way they can defeat us, is if we concede. Why do you think they're calling for Trump to concede? Got to concede, got to concede. Why do you think Hillary said, whatever Biden does, don't concede? Don't concede. When we allow other adults to trick us into wearing masks, we essentially have conceded. We've conceded our freedom. That's what they want. And that's, I think, why they continue to move forward with this fraud, is because they saw that 85% of the country put masks on when it said on the box that it doesn't protect against COVID-19. On the box. Right on the box. I believe I've even had a show here where I brought up an image of the box and zoomed in on the box and showed you where it said on the box, just, the blue ones everybody wears, pretty much. I can't account for these custom ones that people get. I'm talking about the regular blue ones that they sell in bulk. You know what I'm talking about. That box said it doesn't protect against it. But that didn't matter. Facts don't matter. Facts don't matter, because they have, again, these people are evil geniuses. They have cleverly put us into a position where facts don't matter as much as what your neighbor thinks about you or what your social circle thinks about you. They've been able to somehow circumvent logic and think that how you feel and how other people perceive you is more important than actual truth and facts. If there's another way that you can explain that, type it into the chat room. But that's what they've done. They have, because let me break that down for a second. The fact is the box says right on it that it doesn't protect you against COVID-19. As I stated, it showed that. But the social pressure that they put upon you for not wearing it overrides the logic that you see on the box. But it says it doesn't protect it. That's okay, we got to wear it anyway because we don't want then other people to think bad things about us. Do you understand how, it's trauma-based mind control. Trauma-based mind control. And this week, I will if I can find the information out there, because it's, you type something in a chat or a search box in the first, 9 pages, there's CNN, MSNBC, Yahoo News, you know how it goes, right? So it's hard to find real good information. But I'm going to try to do my best to get, I may have some actually in my archives even, on trauma-based mind control. And we can discuss that because that is what we're in the middle of right now. Trauma-based mind control. Think about it. Trauma-based. What's trauma? I mean, think about a trauma center, right? It's a disastrous situation that causes, panic or alarm or an emergency, right? I mean, like a virus, like people dropping dead from trauma-based mind control. You got to wear this mask because if not, you're going to die. Even though the statistics and the facts state that like 99% of the people that get it recover. Okay? Again, that's a fact. That's a fact that's out there that's, I don't think, is in dispute. Regardless of that, you override, they've managed to override our intellect, our critical thinking. They've hijacked it. They circumvent it. The critical thinking that we're all supposed to have, logic, they've been able to hijack it and work around it because you tell me how it makes sense. If you get all worried and all to the point where your business gets shut down, their marriages are failing, their finances are failing. As I said, the stores are closing, people are locked down. And the actual fact of the matter is that almost everybody that gets it recovers. That is the facts. Yet they've somehow managed to capture us so effectively and so completely that facts right in front of us don't seem to matter. That is a pretty sophisticated and successful psyop. And they use trauma-based mind control to help further all of it along. It's all a trick, folks. It's all a trick. It's all a con. All of it. All of it. All of it. You're seeing the con come out now. Please hit the like button if you would and help share the video around. They really do have hit my views a lot. Not going to complain about that again. But if you could help spread the video around, hit the like button and share it, that would be delightful. The biggest fear that they have is us being awake. And my good friend, looks like David Devine, my good buddy from Adapt 2030, is in the chat room. David, always great to see you, brother. We got to do another show, man. I know so much is going on. We've been trying to reach out and get in contact with each other, and we haven't had a chance to do that. But let's do that. Happy New Year to you, and let's try to get touch up through Skype here soon. Great guy. Really, if you're not following David Devine on Adapt 2030, you're missing out on a lot of great info. He's a true blue guy, and we used to broadcast together for a brief period of time there on Revolution Radio. So I would suggest that you go check out his channel, Adapt 2030. There's very few channels that I support and promote, but David Devine's one of them. So David, good to see you here on the show. Yes, folks, we are, and again, my at this point, with the difficulty in finding what true news is, one of my main goals here is to rally the troops, get people, I know there's a lot of people are down right now. A lot of people are wondering what's going on. And, no wonder. I mean, they're cutting off, like I said, the lines of communications that we have. And we cannot let that discourage us. Okay, this is a war. We're in a war right now for this republic. And if you haven't taken the time to watch a movie called The Patriot, I'm sure you've heard of it. I mean, if for nothing else, right? For nothing else, to kind of get an idea of what times were like back then and what it costs You know, it costs. There's a cost, right? We've been kind of brought up in this country, and we've been soft, right? We haven't seen any real hard times. We haven't really seen hard times like our forefathers have, and our you know our grandparents, our great grandparents, and beyond. I mean, times have been pretty easy for us, relatively speaking, here, and that, you know, for certainly since my generation, for sure, right? And that leads to complacency, that leads to laziness, that leads to, you know, a lot of bad things, not a lot of good things. And this is sadly where we find ourselves now. And we, you know, I guess my broadcast here is to get you to stand up and act. And, you know, I think that a lot of people are doing that. And I certainly am glad to see that. But I would not have a feeling of despair right now. I would have this is dangerous and exciting times that we're living in. And, you know, I think that we have to continue to stick together. I mean, obviously there's an attack on patriots right now. So that's usually when patriots are at their best. So I'm hoping, let's see. So, okay. So David, yeah, we'll get together and we'll do a show with David Devine there. I can't see, David, what you're saying there. Past program. Yeah. Okay. I'll contact you, David. We'll reach out and we'll have you on the show. All right, folks. I'm going to be coming back here in a little while with Dave. I believe Dave and Kelly are going to come back on. We're going to be. I think the plan is to do a 2-hour show. We're going to open up the phone lines, and that I'm waiting to hear back from Dave. But that's generally, I think, the thought of talking to him yesterday. That's what we're going to do. So that'll be. I'll be back with Critical Disclosure, because that's where I have the blog talk time on Critical Disclosure Radio. And I'll put those announcements out, so keep an eye on the Northwest Liberty News YouTube channel and other venues, and I'll put that out when we come to, maybe this afternoon, maybe at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'm not sure, but keep an eye out. We'll be coming back on with the same, minus Jason Q. I don't believe he'll be with us, but we'll have the same guest, I believe, that we have, same co-host that we had on for Saturday. So thanks so much for looking in. Please support our sponsors. You can find out what's going on at MontanaDailyGazette.com. It's MontanaDailyGazette.com or MontanaGazetteRadio.com or the flagship Northwest Liberty News. Thanks so much for looking in, and we'll speak to you next time. Until then, this is James White for Montana Gazette Radio, saying bye now.